Ever feel like you're doing everything right, but still feel stuck? The career, the house, the script we followed, yet something's missing. Everyone said we made it. We realized we'd been climbing someone else's ladder. That realization sparked a journey toward liberation, toward Africa, toward intention. We haven't left yet, but the shift has already begun. Liberation doesn't start with a move. It starts the moment you stop asking permission. Hi, I'm Simone.
Hi, and I'm Luke.
And welcome back to our Liberation Journey, where we share how we are building location-independent businesses, investing in Africa, as well as planning our family's relocation to Johannesburg, South Africa. And so we always want to start by showing our gratitude and appreciation for all of the feedback we received from our last video. We definitely appreciate all of the suggestions that we received with respect to different things that we should consider doing and experiencing, places to go eat during our upcoming trip to Johannesburg and Durban next month. So definitely appreciate all of the comments, all of the feedback, and yeah. Anything you want to add?
We can't forget the love and support. That was seen on the comments as well. Like Simone mentioned, thank you again for your support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the feedback. We have a list of things to do. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do everything, but we are creating that list. So when we do come to that location for good, we have access and things to do and activities to do. So thanks again. We appreciate you for doing that and taking the time out.
All right, so let's get into today's topic.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So today we're actually going to focus on how to choose the right neighborhood in Johannesburg. Mm-hmm. So for those who have not seen previous videos, Luke and I have traveled to South Africa a few times over the past year, and that time was primarily spent in Johannesburg, which we absolutely, fell in love with, and that is where we are planning to relocate our family. So when we're talking about what you should be thinking about and considering, it's going to be focused on Johannesburg since that's where we've spent our time. Mm-hmm. Looking into different areas, different neighborhoods to live and relocate to. So that's what we're going to focus on. So this is not a comprehensive review of South Africa because it is a very big country and we have not had the benefit of being able to explore the entire country. But again, during our previous visits, Johannesburg just really resonated with us for many different reasons. And so we'll certainly elaborate a little bit more on that during this episode, but also to touch on some key things to keep in mind or consider and questions to kind of ask yourself if you are considering relocating, even if it's not specifically to Johannesburg, but just in general, some general principles that you should be thinking about when considering, a neighborhood for relocation and living. All right, sounds good?
Sounds great. Great job. Yeah, let's get this started.
All right. So we broke it down into like 5 steps. All right. So step 1 is define lifestyle priorities. And what falls under that particular category are things like, is walkability important to you? Do you prefer estate living versus living in, just a neighborhood with independent homes? Or kind of a combination, because you do have some kind of hybrid where
Yes.
it's not a full estate, but it is not, a neighborhood where anybody can just go in at any time. They have kind of security, entrances, exits, but it's not like a full scale, estate. So for you, Luke, what are some of the things that are important to you with respect to, priorities and neighborhoods, and what a neighborhood should have that resonates with kind of what's important to you?
I have a number of things off the top of my head. The first thing that comes to mind is safety and security. So safety and security is very important. Just you know, from just that standpoint of just starting off, I think things to consider is, crime rate in the neighborhood, the accessibility of, this community is gated, like you mentioned before, if it's a suburb, where there is not a gated community, but you do have access to doing other things as well, where there is security, but it's not a gated community. So safety and security definitely is a priority for me. For an example, like street lighting, pedestrian safety, and just the most important thing for me, those things stand out as one of them.
Okay. And what I would say for me, I think one of the priorities is somewhat related to safety, but also just having green spaces is definitely something that when we visited, particularly when we did the real estate tour in November of 2024, we really had an opportunity to look at many different kind of estate living.
Yes.
And one thing that really stood out to me about all of the estates, and they all have kind of different feels and vibes to them. But I think the thing that was kind of very standard across all of the different estates is just having lots of green spaces to, be outside, walk, areas for children to play safely. Given, we do have 3 young children, it's really important for us to have a place where, the kids can just go outside and play and roam around and be safe, and us feel comfortable with them, going out
Yes.
On their own. Because they're at that age now where they really want to start to establish themselves independently and be able to go and do things without us kind of hovering
the word
over them.
the word is explore. They love to explore.
Yes,
That's
explore.
Yeah.
So definitely for me, that's very important to live in an area where there is plenty of outdoor spaces for not only the kids to enjoy, but for us to enjoy, just, going out for a walk. I like being out in the sun, particularly the sun in South Africa.
It's a different
Definitely
type of sun.
does something to my skin. Right now I'm feeling a little pale since it is winter time here and it is snowing again.
I'm not gonna talk about that.
Okay, we won't talk about it. But yeah, for me that's one of the things that's really important to me. For you, in addition to safety, what are some of the other things that are kind of top priority with respect to, a neighborhood, and what would pull you towards one neighborhood versus another?
The community of the neighborhood. I would say the lifestyle of the neighborhood. And like you mentioned before, how the outdoor space is for the most part, because we love being outdoors. So I would say, you know, the lifestyle of that neighborhood and the community is important to me as well. Um, Being able to interact and engage with your neighbors, that's key, because eventually, you know, you consider them, um, you know, you would like to consider them family, or someone you can reach out to if there is an emergency, or just someone to connect and say hi to, and just see if there's anything I can do to assist and help. Um, you know, as the day to day life, you know, and just communicating with them, you know. So I look for community, lifestyle, and an outdoor environment for the kids to explore and roam, have fun, and you know, be established with their friends.
Yeah. And one other thing that I would say to keep in mind is really understanding whether you more enjoy like the urban vibe versus, you know, suburban.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the suburbs, particularly in Johannesburg, that we notice is that every suburb actually kind of has a different feel and vibe to it. So, you know, a place like, what would I say, like a Melrose Arch or like a Rose Bank
Yes.
has a different, you know, vibe or feel to it than, you know, like areas like Waterfall.
Okay.
And Waterfall is a big area.
Yes.
There are
Extremely
many
loved.
different estates
Mm-hmm.
within what they call the Waterfall area. Um, so it's really one, you have to go and visit. That's like top. That's like number one.
Yeah.
First, you have to go visit, and you really have to go and see these places for yourself to figure out if it resonates with what is important to you from a lifestyle standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's important to us, what we like, is not necessarily what other people are gonna like, because their lifestyles may be different. Like for me, I don't necessarily have to be like in the thick of like the urban center. I want to be nearby. Like I don't want to have to drive, you know, 45 minutes to get there, but I don't necessarily have to live within the urban space. So I really prefer personally to kind of be right on the outskirts of an urban area, where you still have that kind of quiet, tranquil
Mm-hmm.
feel of like being in a suburb,
Yeah.
but you're not so far out that you have to travel, you know, every time you want to do certain, you know, types of activities that are, you know, more centrally located, maybe in urban areas. So for me, that's something that is kind of my personal preference.
Yeah.
But again, everybody is different. So that's one thing to just keep in mind, whether you're more of an urban person versus a suburban, whether you want to be kind of, you don't mind being further out because you just like being out in the, I don't want to say the wilderness, but it's not the wilderness, but you know what I mean? Like just being
Man,
a
that's
little
good
bit
one.
further out where
Mm-hmm.
you don't necessarily have to be near,
Yeah.
you know, the city within 20-30 minutes. Like you're good with being 45 minutes, an hour out, because that just suits your lifestyle. Like you're not doing certain activities on a, you know, daily or weekly basis
Mm-hmm.
where having to, you know, travel 45 minutes, an hour is, you know, that big of a deal, because you don't do those things that frequently
Mm-hmm.
where it's an issue. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then the other thing I had, which kind of ties into that, is around commuting. And
Yes.
so depending on your situation, if you, for example, and we're going to talk, I think one of the steps is related to children, but certainly that's part of it. If you have children and they go to school, you want to keep in mind where you're deciding to live, particularly if you've settled on a particular school. Um, and then the other thing is, if you're, you know, working or starting a business or doing some sort of, you know, activity such as that, and you have to go to a certain location to do that, that's also something to keep in mind as far as commuting. Any other things that you find to be important with respect to lifestyle
Um,
preferences?
I think we touch base on the lifestyle for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about the culture, the social life, the environment of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we definitely touched you know points on what we looked for in the lifestyle part of it. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I think we hit a lot of the major kind of points and questions and things just to keep in mind and consider when
Mm-hmm.
thinking about a neighborhood that fits your particular lifestyle.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's step one. So step one is to really hone down and define what your lifestyle priorities are.
Mm-hmm.
Step number two is think about daily rhythm. And what does that mean? What is your day to day life going to look like? Like I mentioned just a few moments ago, are you going to be working? If so, are you going to be working at a specific location? Or are you someone who's going to be, working remotely at home? Um, Again, going back to the commuting, traffic is a thing. Johannesburg is a city.
Yes.
And so there is traffic, just like any other, metropolitan city area. So also keeping in mind, what your day looks like, what time of the day you will potentially have to be traveling, and what that traffic pattern looks like in the particular areas that you're, considering. And then also the kids' schools, that's
Yeah.
also
That.
important when thinking about the daily rhythm. Um, so for you, what do you kind of envision? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
It's fine. It's like, yeah,
What do you
it's
kind of
cool.
envision as kind of your ideal kind of day to day routine? And what neighborhoods do you think kind of fit more of that from what we've been able to
To
see?
see,
Yeah.
okay, so like what I would do in my daily routine is I would start my day, or just like how we move as a family as well.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
because you can't move by yourself.
Oh
You
no,
got a
no,
family.
no. I can. Yeah, I was just. Yeah, But for the most part, my day. I see my day. Early morning, early riser. The most important thing is.
Are you though?
Yeah, I get up early. I with no alarm. I move. Get up. Access to that important lifestyle and getting going. So I do get up early. So.
Okay.
Um, the next thing I want to share is see, you threw me off for a
I'm
little bit.
sorry. All right.
But no, it's
So let
fine.
me.
No. It's like we don't have to apologize,
I'm not apologizing for that. I'm just
but
saying.
the thing is, so you start with getting up early and getting access to um, your movement and how you process the morning, because we're big on getting yourself up and ready and moving, if it's due to meditation or whatever you do to get going, if it's fitness, because you have to make sure you're in alignment before you get your kids up, because it's not okay you get up and then get them up and it's chaos, so that's one thing we do well, and we work with that, and it's come with work, so it's like we don't wait to that last minute to get up and get them going. So movement, no chaos, getting the kids ready for school. I see us. I definitely do not want a long commute. The reason why I say that is because I can see myself living in I could be on the outskirts, but something close to the urban in the city, because I like that environment. But I don't have to be close to it, but close enough to get to it. Um, and I see us, in an area where that commute is not long, because it's important to not be in the vehicle long after school or any after activities or whatnot, because you want to get the kids in a rhythm. So family time, dinner, activities, sports, whatever they may be doing in extracurricular activities. So I know I'm saying a lot, but that's how I would I see us starting that off.
So, is there any one particular neighborhood that we visited and spent time in that was better suited for kind of that daily routine
To be
versus
honest,
others?
yeah, we definitely we saw a waterfall. We were in the waterfall area, which we did notice the waterfall in that state area is a lot of traffic. It's from what we hear and what we saw, it's a lot of traffic in that location, in that area due to mornings and also in rush hour. And we also saw Bryanston. And we really enjoyed that location just because it had that suburb vibe, and you weren't far away from different locations if you wanted to get to that urban environment in the city. But also, I did notice if when you're in Bryanston, you had that walkability. So like even if you were like wherever you were located, you still could walk to the mall, or we call them strip malls. But you had access to locations where you could walk, and instead of driving, depending on where you're located and where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would add to that as far as kind of the daily rhythm is, yes, I agree. Definitely do not want to have to commute long with respect to taking the children to school, because they will be in school.
Yeah.
They will be going to school. So that's one thing. So that's really going to be one of the biggest drivers as far as where we ultimately land as far as living. Once we've settled on a school, then essentially anything within like a 20-minute max driving radius is kind of where we're going to look at.
Yeah.
But that's for us, because we have children, and obviously they're going to be going to school on a daily basis. Not having to spend significant amounts of time commuting back and forth, taking them to school is definitely top priority for us.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the other things to keep in mind, particularly when you're thinking about your own personal daily rhythm, is, like Luke mentioned, going to stores. If you're a person that likes to go to the grocery store a couple of times a week, then certainly you want to make sure that you pick a location where those things are, very accessible, and not having to, again, spend a whole lot of time commuting back and forth to get to those types of places. If you're somebody who just goes, once a week or once every 2 weeks, then you may be okay with living a little further out and not being, as close to those types of amenities like grocery stores, shopping centers, all of those things. I actually look forward to the day where, it's not such a heavy lift to go to the grocery store a few times a week, right now, because of just our lifestyle and how things are busy. Like, having to have to do that here is just like, ugh, no.
It's a lot. It can
So you have to buy in bulk, because going to the grocery store every few days is not going to work.
It's not going to work.
But I actually look forward to the opportunity to kind of have more of that as our lifestyle, because one thing I will say is that the grocery stores are bomb. Like,
I enjoy. I enjoy.
They are so nice,
out there.
and it's just like such an experience just going to the grocery store, and it's so pleasant. Everything is well organized. The shelves are well stocked. I mean,
No, you have
Luke just had a
everything.
situation today,
Oh, man.
going to and fro trying to find basic things because the shelves are not stocked because there's a blizzard going on right now, and people, act like the world is ending.
There's
So
nothing on the shelves, like nothing. Like you.
so I definitely look forward to the experience of shopping, something as simple as grocery shopping, and not having to like fight with people to get stuff, or stuff not being on the shelves, or things just kind of being in disarray and not organized. I mean, we went to so many different locations, stores, and it was like the standard across the board. It's just
Just
like
to name a few. What was it? Woolworth, right?
Woolworths, but Checkers,
Pick and Pay.
Pick and Pay. So I mean, it's just I would say that definitely keep that in mind when you're considering what your day-to-day life is. Like if you are someone who likes to exercise and you want to go to a gym, like that's also something to think about.
Yes.
Is there a gym facility near where you plan to live? If they have like what you call it, WeWork. So if you're someone who is gonna work like remotely, but you want to go to like kind of like an office space setting,
Yes,
there are
they
many
have those.
different places. WeWork is one of them that just comes off the top of my head, where it's like a workspace. You can go and do whatever work you want to do, and kind of have that environment that fosters more of like working.
Yes.
For those who may feel like being in the house, you want to get out, but not necessarily have to go to like an actual office. So those things are always things you want to be considering and thinking about. If you're someone that likes to go to the mall on a regular, definitely there are plenty of malls, depending on which one kind of suits your fancy. If it's important for you to live near that, that's also something to consider. Anything else about daily rhythm that we didn't touch on? I think we hit all the points that we wanted to make as far as work, traffic, being near the kids' schools, grocery stores, all of those things.
Yes, I think we touched base on that. And two things to mention as well, depending on where you decide to live, some of the estates do have those amenities where you don't have to leave the estate to do anything at all. So if you want to stay on the estate, you can work. You can leave your house, go to the clubhouse and get work done, or use the fitness facility there. Go to a spa, so you have access to do whatever you choose what's best for you.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I think we overlooked that part, particularly for people in the U.S. who may not be familiar with what an estate actually entails. As Luke mentioned, some of these estates, there's actually multiple grocery stores. There's restaurants. There's gym facilities.
Gas stations.
Gas stations, schools, hospital facilities. Like all of these different things are within some of the estates. So again, depending on what's important to you as far as lifestyle, what resonates with you, like there are so many options. If you're into golf, there are plenty of different golf estates. If that's something that if that's something that you do on a day-to-day basis, and you want to have that easy accessibility to going golfing, then maybe a golf estate is more up your alley. That's more of what you might be looking to stay. They have equestrian estates. They have country estates.
Yes.
I mean,
the list goes
on and on and on.
But you get access to everything you need once you're on that estate. So We've heard stories where people, they don't leave the estate, you know, like literally they don't, unless they're going to the airport to travel, you know, to leave,
Yeah.
to visit another location, but you can stay on the estate and get everything you need.
Yeah. And yeah, again, I think it's important. I know I can keep kind of harping on it, but you really have to go and visit and see if it's for you. You know, estate living is not for everybody, right? I think one of the beauties of Johannesburg is that whatever your lifestyle is, whatever things are important to you, you have many options that will fit that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have all of those options if you're coming from certain parts of the United States. I mean, I think I'm kind of hard pressed to think of any area that has the level of different options. Like even within, I think we were talking about like Bryanston,
Yes.
and we brought up Rosebank. Very two different types of neighborhoods, with different feels, different vibes, different kind of walkability, different density as far as population, how many people are, you know, together. And then he talked about Waterfall. You know, Waterfall has several different, you know, estates. You know, the Mall of Africa's in Waterfall. There are a lot of businesses. There's a lot of development going on in Waterfall. So it depends on, again, do you like the convenience of being in an area where the mall is there? There's many different strip malls there. There's a lot of development, businesses, you know, all of that is going on. Hospital, everything is there. Schools are there, versus somewhere like Bryanston where it's maybe a little bit quieter. It's not as much kind of foot traffic or vehicle traffic. That's the thing, right? You know what I mean. You know, it's not as much, you know, kind of hustle and bustle going on, and Bryanston it's a little bit quieter, kind of suburb. So again, you have to just go and see these places for yourself, spend time there, you know, just do kind of day-to-day lifestyle things there to really see if it, if it fits your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. Think about your daily routine, your daily rhythm, and decide what areas fit that the best. All right, step 3 is something that we've already kind of touched on, but I'll just bring it up one more time, is school proximity. I think we spent some time, not the last video, but the prior one, talking about schooling and what to look at, what to look for, things to think about when deciding on the proper schooling for your children. But again, it's always important to just keep in mind there are options. Homeschooling is an option.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely an option if that's something that suits your family and your lifestyle. They have international schools, they have private schools, there are public schools. And again, the commuting is important. It's always something that you have to really think about and consider when you have children, is that, you know, that commute is, I know we keep talking about it, but I think sometimes people don't necessarily think about that aspect when deciding where they want to live, and then end up in a situation where they really like this neighborhood, but then their school is in a whole different area, and now they have to, you know, commute and spend all this time commuting back and forth to school. So that's just something to think about and consider. And also consider when you're looking at schools. You know, you want to, if there's certain neighborhoods that you tend to feel suit your lifestyle more, then you want to try to find schools within that area.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So it just depends on what's most important to you. All right.
I think you explained that really well.
Good. Thanks. All right. Step 4 is safety,
Yes.
but balanced safety.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that you should keep in mind, again, particularly when you're coming from the U.S., is with the estates, the security is on a different level than what we're accustomed to in the U.S., even when you're talking about, like, if you live, like, in a gated community. No.
No comparison.
It's not just the gate, it's the whole situation where you cannot go in and out unless you are supposed to be there or you have the proper credentials or codes to get onto the premises.
Yes.
And if you don't have the code, they're not trying to hear anything other than what is the code. You don't got the code. Yes, you do not pass go.
Do not pass go.
So the security is on a different level. For some people, that they really like that aspect.
Yeah.
For other people, they're like, this is too much. Like, I don't want all of this when I have to go in and out of my residence. Again, it just depends on what suits you.
It didn't bother us. We were cool with it. You know, so I was like, okay, I like this. You know, because once again, you know, safety is important. Community is important, but the type of safety you may get in the estate you won't get in a location outside of that. You will have security, but it won't be to that level. And it also is gated as well, but you know, one thing I can say is they take it seriously on the security side and protection and just valuing safety across the board. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, it just depends on what suits you.
Yeah.
And even within the different estates, like, the security can be a little bit different. But yeah, the estate security is like, I was just like, wow, they're about their business when it comes to security over here. Because they're like, this is not the right code, and you are not getting in. You need to call whoever you need to call to get the right code, or you just, I don't know what to tell you. You can't. You're not going coming in here.
Yeah, so I did notice. That's one thing I did notice, that the emergency response was on point. Everybody was on the same page. So it was definitely, you know, the process where, you know, people, you pay for that access, you know, and that service. So it does come with a price, but it's a price that, you know, some people are comfortable with, and they know that what comes behind it, you know, so nothing wrong with that. So safety is very important. Yeah.
And balance, you know, and it all depends on, again, your perspective, what balanced is for you.
I like that. What's balanced? Like, what's your non-negotiable?
Yeah. I mean, again, I think everything in life is about balance, right? Like so you definitely want to feel like you are secure, you're safe. But you also you may not want to feel like you're going into Fort Knox every time you go home.
You know, they may not know it's like a military base.
So I mean, it just depends on, again, what suits you. Like, if that doesn't faze you, then you probably will really enjoy and love being in an estate. If that don't really sit well with you, there are plenty of options that are not in the state that are safe areas that you can have a wonderful lifestyle. So again, it just depends on what suits you. All right. And then the last step is emotional fit. And I think this one you definitely cannot assess without going and getting your feet on the ground and spending time in a place. Because you will find that certain areas the moment you step foot, you're like, nah, this ain't our speed, this ain't our vibe. And then other areas like, oh wow, I can really see us living here. And that's different. That experience is different for everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna get on here and start talking about any specific estates because I don't want people coming for me in the comments.
No, you're not doing that.
But there were certainly, when we went and we visited, there were some estates where we were like, it's a no for us. Beautiful. Not that it wasn't beautiful, not that the homes were not beautiful, not that the amenities were not top notch. It's just when you're talking about that emotional fit, like you're just like, okay, this the energy here is not really with our energy. So this isn't gonna be it for us. But there were other estates where we're like, wow, this feels real kind of homey. Even though you're like on an estate, it still felt like you were like in a neighborhood, in a suburb somewhere. So it just depends on, again, what's your vibe, what you like. And there's no right or wrong. It's whatever's right for you. And what's right for you may not be right for us, and vice versa, and it's all good. I think, again, the beauty of Johannesburg that we saw is that there are so many different options depending on what you like.
Yeah.
I would say that it would be very hard pressed not to find a place that you like. If you can't find a place that you like in Johannesburg, I think there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to say it that way. There has to be something wrong with you, because there are literally any type of lifestyle you like and enjoy. There is a place for you to live.
Yeah, it's there.
So, I'm gonna leave it at that.
That works.
Yeah. So emotional fit. Some of the questions you should ask yourself is, do you feel peaceful there? Did it feel isolating, right? For some people, like going back to the estates, some people may feel like being in an estate is isolating. So that may not, fit them. Do you feel energized? Could you see your children living here, thriving here? And so that obviously is very important for us. And so that's why certain areas seemed more kind of family oriented, family friend. I don't want to say family friendly, but family, like you could just see your kids like running around here. Because you saw like other children running around. Some estates you didn't see nobody walking, nobody running, nobody nobody outside. And maybe that was just the time of day we were there, but you could still kind of feel, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you could feel the energy in some places. You could feel
like that you could feel, you could sense that, like, that community, know. So like some states we did go to, we saw kids riding their bikes, running up and down the street, playing basketball, soccer. So it was like, okay, we could see our kids being in that environment, right? And the location was great, but the main thing is like the question Simone mentioned before. And one question I will add to that is, is there a sense of community here? And, you can be in estates and different locations, and you may not know who's next door to you, right? And so, and that's how it is up here sometimes, and like you can be living in a location and your neighbor won't speak to you, or you don't know their name. And they could be there. You've been living there for years, and that's how people are. But like, we look for a sense of community, an environment for kids to grow, and create friends and be with good friends and watch them just have a good time. And that's the most important thing. That peace of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So last thing I will we'll end with before we do our 3 takeaways. I do have 3 takeaways this time.
Okay.
I'm proud of me. We got 3 takeaways this time.
You're proud. Okay.
But what would you say for you, Luke, surprised you during the real estate tour? I know it was a year and a half now ago.
Yes,
It's still fresh in your mind.
Fresh. Like let me be real with you. If it's done right, you won't forget it. Like if you're doing anything, and I'm gonna always give them their flowers. The real South Africa. So like even though it was a year and a half, it's still fresh. I enjoyed everything about it. And you said the question was what surprised me?
Yeah, what surprised you during the tour? And I'll preface it by saying this, before Luke and I went on the real estate tour, we spent a lot of time, I think probably more time than we would like to admit, watching YouTube, watching content about different neighborhoods, areas, real estate in Johannesburg. So we were somewhat familiarized with some of the areas that we ended up touring during the real estate tour. But outside of that, what, if anything, surprised you during the tour?
Surprised me? Like you said before, when we seen the content, so we kind of knew what we were getting into as we started the process. So wouldn't use the word surprise, but like I did enjoy, and I was just I'm thinking of this word, like, but the word may not come to me, but the way we were moving and the access and availability we had to see the locations that were present. I think if we were to go on our own, we wouldn't be able to see those things that we've seen during that tour. But surprised, I kind of knew what we were getting into because of all the content we watched. But once we actually touched down on and we were in Johannesburg, I just loved the pace and how things were moving, and it's like I felt like I belonged here and I've been here before. Yeah. So that's one thing like I said, when we first got there, we hit the ground running. We got there early. In the evening, we checked in, we cleaned up, and we went right out. Like people was like, "Oh, I had jet lag." Nah, what you mean? Like am I right or wrong? Like we like came in from the airport, checked in, did what we had to do, and we was out. And then the next day it was like a flow. It's like, okay, all right, we're waking up at home, so like I felt like I belonged there. I felt like I was there already before. Yeah. The way I was moving around. So
yeah.
So
I would say that to your point,
yeah,
I think what surprised me is how at home I felt.
Yes.
Because we had watched so much content, I wasn't necessarily surprised at how everything looked. I think I was pleasantly surprised. Well, I wouldn't say surprised, but I was happy to see that in person it looked just like what it looked like on television, right? Because every time there's always that concern, like, okay, they're showing me this, it's on the television, things can be manipulated in a way to look one way, but then when you go and you show up, you're like, ooh, this is not what the images or the video was demonstrating. So I would say that what you see on video, particularly on YouTube, it is definitely of the same quality, if not better quality, when you get to see it actually in person. But I think the thing that most surprised me is how at home I felt. Like I felt like I didn't feel like I was on vacation.
No, it didn't
in like
feel
a
like
foreign
vacation.
place.
Didn't
Like
feel
I
like.
felt like, oh, I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just,
And
going around,
and
living life
living life
and
and
being at
enjoying
home.
it. And one thing people and everyone that we encountered, like they were, you know, welcome home. Welcome home, right? Right. Welcome home. Welcome home. Hey, what's up? What's up, my brother? What's good? You know, so it was a great feeling. Can't wait to get back. See you in a couple weeks. You know,
Yes.
so I am excited to see new faces and the same faces, and like I said before, I stay in contact with everyone I meet. If there's a connection, because everyone communicates, but few connect. And the most important thing, when I was in South Africa, when I was in Johannesburg, I was connecting with everybody. So looking forward to seeing you again, meeting new faces and meeting new people. But I'm ready to come back home.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. Every time I went back, um, it just felt more and more like I was coming home.
Yeah.
It's hard to really describe it,
Mm-hmm.
and other than saying it that way. Like when we came back with the kids, I felt like I was, we were returning home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think what really solidified it for me is when I went back for the third time with Elijah. I just remember walking out of the airport to the vehicle and just feeling like I'm home. Like I'm home.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. Hence why we have decided to relocate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all right. So let's do 3 takeaways
Okay.
to wrap everything up.
Let's do it.
All right. So takeaway number 1 is choose for daily life, not appearance.
Okay.
Right. I think some of the estates that we saw online, like they looked absolutely gorgeous. The different homes, absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go and you visit, you can tell like, oh, what I thought we were gonna really, really like didn't really fit kind of how we saw ourselves on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So choose for daily life, not just for appearance. Takeaway number 2.
Okay.
Proximity creates peace.
Okay, say it again, please.
Proximity creates peace.
Yes, it does.
So what do we mean by that? Again, going back to the commuting.
Mm-hmm.
If you like going to the gym and the gym is 30, 40 minutes away, you're probably not going to be going to the gym as frequently as you may want to. If you like going to like art exhibits, then you may want to live in an area where, you can go take a 10-minute walk and go to an art exhibit, or get on I'm going to jack it up, how train. Don't come for me, okay? We're still working on it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so you get the point.
It
depends on, again, your lifestyle, and proximity definitely will create peace. If you do not have to spend a whole lot of time fighting through traffic, sitting in traffic to go and do the daily things that you enjoy doing, your life is going to be so much more peaceful.
Yes.
So definitely keep that in mind when thinking about an area to relocate. And then takeaway number 3, we said it, I think 1,000 times already. Visit in person.
Yes, that's important.
Visit in person.
Yes.
The feeling matters. Again, we told you, There were areas we saw online. They look gorgeous. They look beautiful. Are we gonna really? I'm looking forward to going to this place because we've been seeing this place for God knows how long. And you get there and you're like, oh, it's beautiful, but
it's not me.
It doesn't quite fit. It don't
fit.
really feel right.
It doesn't add a piece to my puzzle.
So definitely visit in person, please.
It's important.
Visit in person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just do your online research and think that you done picked this place and all is good. Please go visit before you make any decision about where you want to relocate, where you want to live. You have to visit. You absolutely do.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up how to choose the right neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think we've touched on pretty much the key things to keep in mind. And again, we didn't want to get into any specifics as far as neighborhoods or states because there are so many. And what may resonate with us may not resonate with others.
Yes.
So go visit, go see it for yourself, and know that you have options.
That's the most important thing. And please, if we didn't miss anything, or if you have any information you'd like to share with us, please comment. Please comment. Please comment.
Yeah, actually, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you, and I'm speaking to my South African brothers and sisters, if there are any areas that you think we should think about or consider, we're definitely open to exploring other neighborhoods that we haven't yet checked out when we come back in a few weeks. So definitely leave a comment if there's a certain area or you live in a certain area that we should think about considering as far as living. Please let us know.
Yeah, please.
Because we definitely take all of the information that is given to us. We value it. We value your time. We value your feedback. And the wrap up, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
You got the wrap up? So we gotta. You ain't got the wrap up?
Nah, I don't got the wrap up. I was. So.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
You're not ready?
No. I'm ready. Let's go. The wrap up is.
Do you know what the wrap up is?
Yes.
You sure?
It's our.
Like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me get
you
there.
got
Get there. Like.
Okay, wait. Pause.
Check this out.
Ready?
So
wait.
Once again, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you, and thank you for the support. We definitely feel it. We definitely appreciate the comments. So most important thing we need you to do is please like, share, and subscribe to our liberation journey.
Because
sharing is caring.
Till next time.
Thank you. Appreciate you so much. All right, y'all take care. Have a good one.
All right.
Peace.